Represent, where you from, DJs rocking, hands in the air.
Who's running this club?
Diamond K.
Who's running this club?
Diamond K. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. Make it hot. Show me what you got. Where you from? 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 Don't stop. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. Make it hot. Show me what you got. One more time.
West side,
Make it hot.
east side,
Make it hot.
south side,
Make it hot.
both sides.
Make it hot.
West side,
Make it hot.
east side,
Make it hot.
south side,
Make it hot.
both sides.
Make it hot.
One more time. Say it loud.
Show me what you got. Show me what you got. Make it hot. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. Show me what you got. Make it hot. Show me what you got.
What's going on? It's your man Diamond K in here, of course. The Diamond K Show on fire -TV radio on fire. This has really been bugging me for quite a while. It's been bugging me for quite a while. So we're going to talk about Jada Pinkett, the book. Of course, she's trying to sell a book. A lot of this is about the book, and a lot of lies we're gonna uncover. So I do want to say this. So her memoir is out now. It's called Worthy. Came out today, and in the book, Jada traces her path from a home with her parents, substance abuse issues, streets of Baltimore to Hollywood, and that in itself is a story, right? So she's had quite a life, a different life than many. So some of the crazy things she talked about. She says that in her new book, Worthy, she says that she's been trying to find self-worth. And she says she wants to reclaim the narrative. Right. Narrative is such an appropriate word. Narrative. She's trying to shift this narrative, shape a narrative. Jada is the daughter of parents with substance abuse issues. Okay. Jada survived the streets of Baltimore. Not easy to do. I can say that as someone who was born and raised in Baltimore. Streets is not easy to survive, right? Jada claims to have been a high school drug dealer. I mean, you can't make this up, right? Says that she was a high school drug dealer, and she said that she showed immense promise as a performer. She came of age with Tupac Shakur. Oh, we're going to talk a lot about Tupac today. Tupac Shakur says that she came of age with the late actor, late rapper Tupac Shakur, said that they remained close friends until his death in 1996. Did I say we're going to talk a lot about Tupac today? Oh, yeah. We're going to talk a lot about Tupac today because Jada in this book, Worthy, reveals that Tupac asked her to marry him while he was incarcerated. Oh, we're going to unpack all of this. So Jada studied theater for a year at North Carolina School for the Arts before making her way to Hollywood and landing a role on A Different World. So A Different World led to Set It Off, Menace to Society, Nutty Professor, Collateral. She was in The Matrix. Of course, along the way, she met Will Smith, and later on, they would get married after meeting multiple times in passing. And once he got a divorce from his first wife, they got married. He called and asked Jada. Well, let me say this. Once he got the divorce, they went out. Okay. So I don't want you to get the impression that Jada broke up the marriage, because the marriage was over before they went on their first date. All right. And after replying that she was single, Will said, will you go out with me? That whole thing. Right. So she's 52 years old now. Old enough to not be doing the stuff that she's doing, but she's doing it. That woo money is long gone. Maybe she thinks she's making her own money now. So her life has been filled with highs and lows. And Worthy is the name of the book. And so she's been on a media tour, dropping little bits of lies mixed with the truth to sell this book called Worthy. She talks about the slap. And I would say that it's surprising, but it's not. It's not surprising that a woman like herself, a woman like herself would not accept the responsibility, the part that she played, voluntary or involuntary. No, she did not tell Will Smith to go up and smack Chris Rock. No, she didn't do that. However, she implied, at least bare minimum, that she was embarrassed, hurt. Now, did Will Smith take it too far? You're damn right he did. But regardless, the slap happened. And Jada recalls what it was like to be made fun of for her alopecia, she said. Now, understand this. Chris Rock was not making fun of her because she had alopecia. Nobody knew she had alopecia. He saw her with the short haircut and linked that to the movie with Demi Moore, where Demi Moore cuts her hair off. Did Demi Moore in the movie have alopecia? No, she was joining the army. She cut her hair off. So he just made a linkage between that, right? It was a joke that only people of a certain age would have even gotten. Right? I think that the Smiths' kids are probably too young to even have gotten that joke. That's how dated the joke was. But G.I. Jane, we remembered it, right? Okay. He said it. 2022. All right. The joke was not about her alopecia. Now, because we're going to go by what she says, because her head was bald, because she said of the alopecia, he didn't say, oh, you got alopecia, G.I. Jane, ha, ha, ha. The alopecia was not the source of the joke. It was the result of her having her hair short, like Demi Moore, like G.I. Jane, but whatever. She says she has nothing to do with the smack. when Will does the smack, he literally says, "Keep my wife's name out your mouth." She literally is name dropped during the smack, but she says she has nothing to do with the smack. She didn't cause the smack. She is not, whatever. Worthy. That's the title of the book that she is selling. And to me, she has a big problem with accepting responsibility. She shirks responsibility. She doesn't want to have accountability at all. Right? She doesn't want it. She doesn't want it. In the chapter that's titled "The Holy Joke, the Holy Slap, Holy Lessons," Jada recalls what it was like to be made fun of. Oh. She was made fun of by a comedian during an award show about entertainment, movies, shows, TV shows, movies, right? Is there a surprise that if you're sitting in the front that the comedian's not going to reference you in some kind of way? That's a surprise? No, it's not a surprise. There was already tension with Chris Rock anyway. There was already tension there. But it was a joke. It was a joke. Now, I've seen the video. I was in Atlanta when it happened at the time. And I was having a conversation. And then I'm scrolling social media. And I say to my homeboy, like, yo, Will Smith just smacked Chris Rock. And we thought it was a joke, looking at it more. And then we saw that it was real. And Jada, gets into more history. The history between Chris Rock, who is 58, and Will Smith, who is 55, plus her own history with Chris Rock. And she pointed out that this was the second time he made fun of her at the Oscars. The host of the Oscars and different shows, part of their job is to tell jokes about people in the crowd or people not in the crowd. But Jada has this victim complex. Oh, I'm the victim. I gotta be strong. I gotta, it's just, and a lot of people have different thoughts about the Smiths, right? Monique, comedian, she's from Baltimore. And I like Monique. Now, Monique, met her on several occasions before she blew up, right? She had a comedy club in downtown Baltimore. And she sometimes came to my store at Westview Mall and would get club tapes, mixtapes to play in the club and different events and things like that. So she would do this thing where she would pull up at the mall. She would call inside the store and ask for the latest mixtapes to be brought out to her. She didn't come in the mall. She would call in, Monique is outside, whatever. Can somebody bring this? Can you bring me the latest mixtapes, baby? And we would send the tapes out to her, whatever. And she would, but she was asked by Tigger in Atlanta radio show. She was asked about her thoughts on the Will Smith, Jada Pinkett drama. And she said something, and I think this is very important to say. So she said that she didn't want to speak about them. She didn't have a thought on them. What she thought didn't matter, and that our people need to focus more on minding their business and worrying about their own stuff. And as a people, if we, talk less about other people, then we would go further. That was her statement. Oh yeah. And some people, when the clip was posted, some people was like, yeah, it's their business. It ain't our business. No, it is absolutely our business. Did I say that she's selling a book? Like Jada is selling a book on these topics. She's going out talking about these topics, right? She wants people to buy the book. She wants people to have these conversations. So for people to say, "Oh, this public couple is selling a book," Will sold a book a few years ago. He revealed his own things, and Jada going out. She's on the circuit. Monique acts like this is some secret and we're just coming out gossiping about her. Jada is out working the rounds. She wants people to talk about this stuff. But here's what she wants. Her and her mother. They want people to feel sorry for Jada. Oh, she has a bald head. She has alopecia, right? So many things have happened to her. The narrative, people think that she's a monster and she's just mean to Will. Like, they want people to side with them. They want people to talk about this. But we're going back to Monique. And I'm not dumping on Monique, right? I like Monique personally. Now, what I am saying, though, is Monique's stance on this is prevalent in the Black community, unfortunately. It's prevalent in a lot of communities, but we're going to talk about the Black community. This mentality that we're not supposed to talk about this. You know, Uncle such and such is touching the kids. That stays in the house. We can't talk about that outside the house. Like, we want to keep everything secret. And part of the problem is we don't talk about the things that we need to talk about. So for so long, different things happen. Daddy did this. Granddaddy did that. No, we don't need to talk about it. So people grow up thinking that this is the way you're supposed to behave. So when we see this public couple who's out trying to pimp all of this information for money anyway, when we don't talk about these things, we don't call the things out. Youngsters, the younger generation, they're seeing this stuff on social media. They're seeing these clips, and then they think this is acceptable behavior. And then they continue to do these acts, the foolishness that Jada does, the emasculating of her Black man, our Black men. We got to talk about this stuff. Jada, worthy, the name of the book. Is Jada worthy? Worthy of what, though? I don't know what she's worthy of. She's worthy of something. She's worthy of something. And so Monique saying that she doesn't want to talk about Will and Jada, and Monique has had her own different things with her, you know, her marriage, right? I would have wished that Monique had told the truth. The real reason that Monique doesn't want to speak on Will and Jada is because she's friends with both of them. She's friends with Will, she's friends with Jada, and she doesn't want to pick a side. That's the real reason. Well, she can't say that, right? That's not sexy, right? That's not sexy, baby. So, you know, Jada talks about the smack, as I said, in this chapter of the book that's called The Holy Joke, The Holy Slap, and Holy Lessons. What are the lessons? Oh, there's so many lessons. There's so many lessons. But you can go back and look at the tape. When the joke was said, Will seemed to smile until he looked at Jada, who was not smiling, and then his whole mood changed. Right? You know, it's an interesting thing. It is an interesting thing. Jada, I honestly meant no harm. She says that Chris Rock told her as the cameras stopped and the video played the nominees for which Rock was presenting the Academy Award. She also wrote that Chris Rock asked her out. Right? There's so much. There's so much. Chris, he thought that we were getting a divorce, she said. So he called me and basically he was like, I'd love to take you out. And I was like, what do you mean? She continued. He was like, well, aren't you and Will getting a divorce? I was like, no, Chris, those are just rumors. He was appalled, she said. And he profusely apologized, and that was that. That's what she said. Now, what is interesting is that during this run, she's also revealed that they have been separated for 7 months, 7 years, 7 years. Will hinted towards some type of a separating, some type of a strangeness. But during the time when you asked them, they were like, oh no, everything's fine. What are you talking about? More lies. Either you were lying then or you're lying now. Which one is it? Right? Neither one of them looks good. She says that they have lived separately since 2016. So she opens up about this, quote unquote, now that she's selling the book. All the times on the red table talk and all that other foolishness, she ain't open up about this then. And has the nerve to say she didn't cheat. So I had to confirm this with someone who's been married before. So if you're separated, right? If you're separated and you sleep with somebody else, that is still cheating because you're not divorced. Now, Will has admitted to cheating in the past, but of course, Jada, the victim who's not worthy, she can sleep with one of her son's homies during her separation, and some kind of way she twists that to be not cheating. Oh, I'm such a victim. The black woman, whatever. This is the kind of stuff that irritates me. Oh, yes, Monique, we got to talk about it. Come on. We got to talk about it, baby. All right. So she also, Jada, addresses what she calls false rumors and gets candid about how her marriage stayed intact after all the years and ups and downs. Now, relationships have ups and relationships have downs. She writes, Jada, talk of our open marriage and was somewhat misleading because it wasn't the free-for-all it sounded like. It's misleading because of your actions, but she doesn't take responsibility for anything. But she wants to be worthy. She wants to build herself up. She says that they eliminated the chance of betrayal. It's like, let's talk about it. Let's work through it together. Let's be in partnership. Let's not keep each other in the dark. Oh, she's from Baltimore, but I don't think that she's representative of a lot of women that I've met in Baltimore. She, I don't know what Hollywood has turned her into, but this is, this is not the actions of the Baltimoreans that I know, right? She says that she remembers women looking at Will when they first got together. To say at 25 and 28 years old in Hollywood that till death do us part, and you think that there is not going to be straying eyes, to me, that didn't seem realistic at all. I've said this many times before. I just don't think that she loved Will Smith. I don't. He's the father of her kids. And I suppose that has love, or maybe say in love with, or loved him the way he loved her. And in public, we're getting these bits and pieces of things, and we look and we're saying, wait, that's not right. We can clearly see, regardless of the fact that there has been cheating on both sides, right? We can still see as the public that Will Smith loves her. And in his love for her, he doesn't publicly embarrass her in the way that she emasculates him. I mean, he doesn't tear her down as a woman. He doesn't. Yeah, I mean, women are going to get on here and they're going to say, oh, he did this and he did that. Yes, but he does not publicly shame her and call her less than. All I hear him saying, if he slept with some other women behind the scenes, he doesn't get out on shows and just publicly disrespect her or say stuff like, I was never attracted to her. I wasn't feeling her like that. Or her little butt just didn't do it for me. He don't say stuff like that. Oh, but she does the equivalent. And it's disgusting. It's disgusting. Another thing that's disgusting, the way she talks and lies about her relationship with Tupac. 1 minute she said that they were just friends. Nothing like that. Just besties, right? Next minute, he's proposing to her. Come on, man. The timeline doesn't add up. You know how they say it? What the math is not mathing. The math is not mathing. And you know, it is it's very interesting that Jada drops this book in October. She talks about Tupac Shakur. I mean, the way that she acts, you ever see somebody telling a lie? Oh, wait, like Trump tells a lie so much. I think he believes that he's the president, or he believes that the election was stolen, even though it wasn't, because he said it so many times, he probably believes it. And his minions have heard it so much, Trump, that they believe it. And Jada has been telling these lies about Tupac. Now she calls him her soulmate, that her kids believe it because they've heard it all their life. But you can tell a lie a million times and that doesn't make it true. Doesn't make it true. So when we go back and look at the timeline, Tupac was convicted for sexual assault in 1995. Tupac was found guilty of raping what was her name? Ayanna Jackson. Tupac was sentenced to 1.5 to 4.5 years in jail. He served 9 months, only 9 months of this sentence. Went to death row after that, got bailed out in October of 1995. I remember the timeline well. I remember this time period very well. Now, Tupac spent the first month at Rikers Island before being moved to Clinton Correctional Facility in Dannemora, New York. Now, when exactly did Jada have time to visit Tupac at Rikers? Because he wasn't at Rikers long, but he was at Rikers. But like I said, he was not there long. And she claims that this proposal happened in person. That's what she claims. She claims that the proposal happened in person, which means she had to be there, right? I mean, that's what it means. That's what she claims. Oh, but there's so much to unpack about that. There's so much that she is not, I don't know, what's the word I want to say, being honest about. There's so much. So Tupac goes to jail. He is there for 9 months. All right? There for 9 months. Now, many people may know this, may not know this, but Tupac did actually get married. He married, and the marriage was actually annulled. They were married for about 10 months. And what I find to be so frustrating, about Jada Pinkett is that she tells lies that are easily disproven. So the 52-year-old actress claims that Tupac Shakur proposed to her in 1995. She now says that he was her soulmate and says that he proposed to her while he was imprisoned on Rikers Island. But as I said, the timeline just doesn't quite add up, right? Doesn't quite add up. So as I said, Tupac spent the first month at Rikers Island. Then he was moved to Clinton Correctional Facility. Now, she specifically said that she went to see him. This was not on the phone. Right? Now, Tupac had a very short-lived marriage to a lady named Keisha Morris. Keisha Morris and Tupac were dating prior to Tupac's conviction and got married in April of 1995 while he was in prison. Now, the marriage was annulled 10 months later. Morris and Shakur said that they stayed good friends until his death. So, Tupac already had a girl that he was dating named Keisha. He proposed to Keisha, her words, in April of, in September of 2011, during an interview. Keisha said this. Keisha Morris. She said that that he proposed to Keisha before he went to prison and that they were already engaged when he was in prison. They got married in April. And as I said, it was annulled. After Tupac was relocated to Clinton Correctional Facility, Keisha Morris moved closer so she could visit and be closer to him, her husband. So if we are to understand and believe Jada Pinkett, in the 2 to 4 week window that he was at Rikers Island and engaged to another woman who had moved closer to the prison and was there almost every day, Tupac proposed to Jada. Now, wait, I understand what you're saying. Tupac was not a one-woman kind of guy. Tupac had a lot of girls. You may say that. Touche. That's fair. So Jada, if we go back and look at Jada in, January of 1995, we've already established that there is only time that she'd be able to see Tupac at Rikers. Jada had already met Will Smith. They met in 1994. Now, they weren't going out. Jada and Will at that time, she met him while on the set of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Will Smith was married at that time, and they did not begin dating until he divorced the next year. So, I don't know. It is interesting. It is interesting. So, on the different world, Jada, while she was doing the different world, Jada had her date with Will Smith February of 95. 5 days after his wife served him with divorce papers. He called her. Jada Pinkett got a plane from Maryland to LA, where the pair began their romance. Now, this is in February of 95. And of course, they ended up marrying in 97. So, Jada, when did you visit Tupac at Rikers Island? When did you visit Tupac at Rikers Island? And how many times have we heard Jada say that they were just best friends? They were just homies. They wasn't like that. How many times have we heard that? Plenty of times. On Howard Stern. She was on Howard Stern, Jada. And listen to how Jada talked about Tupac to Howard Stern.
Show.
You were very close with Tupac Shakur.
Yes.
And Tupac Shakur wasn't the gangster that we all think he was, right? I remember his mother was a Black Panther.
Yes.
And he had a lot of Black Panthers, sort of raised by the Black Panthers and all that. But
he was a revolutionary without a revolution, if that makes any kind of sense. So then that kind of energy just transferred to a whole nother thing.
And don't you believe at that time he was in love with you? Because he would write poetry about you, that the fact that you two weren't sexual with one another, but he said you could make him come in a way that without sex, right?
You know, I think it's so funny because now being older, I have more of an understanding of what that was between us, because, you know, when you have two young people who have very strong feelings, but there's no physical chemistry between us at all. And it wasn't even just for me.
Right.
You know.
Wait. So she said there was no physical chemistry between us at all.
No, it was him too. You know, there was a time when I was like, just kiss me. Let's just see how this goes. And when I
look at her, please kiss me.
I tell you, it had to be the most disgusting kiss for us both.
Why? Explain that to me, because it was so platonic, the relationship?
I think, you know, the only way I can put it is just the higher power just did not want that, because I feel as though if Pac and I had any kind of sexual chemistry, we might have killed each other, because we were both so passionate and, you know, we love deeply. I mean, it was hard enough just with us being friends. We had a very volatile relationship.
So here's the thing. I mean, that could Exhibit A, Your Honor. I mean, her own words. Now, of course, to sell the book, she wants to just hype it up. Now, I've always said this. She's got her head shaved bald because she's trying to channel Tupac, right? I mean, come on. She says that Tupac had alopecia. I mean, she's making all these kind of wild assertions, and it is frustrating. It is frustrating. She told these things to Howard Stern. She said different things to different people, depending on what kind of, here's one thing that is similar to her and Tupac. She said depending on which couch she's sitting on, depending on who she's talking to, that's the story that she's going to tell. That's the story that she's going to tell. So she's got a book to sell, and I understand that. I understand trying to sell the book. I do. I understand it. I feel it. It makes sense to me, right? Sell the book. But she tells lies when the truth will do. She writes how real and dangerous her years selling crack cocaine in Baltimore were. Did some publicist come up with this? Jada Pinkett selling crack cocaine here in Baltimore is crazy sounding. It's crazy talk. All right. I have known plenty of drug dealers here in Baltimore, and they don't look like Jada Pinkett. Come on now. Who's buying drugs from Jada Pinkett? Not that I've bought drugs before, but I mean, come on. Jada Pinkett? Right. Anyway, she talks about selling drugs, and she's had guns to her head, and she carried a knife. Okay. All right. So says that she graduated from the University of the Beatmore Streets. We don't even talk like that. We don't even talk like that. Anyway, she said that she's held several legit jobs starting at 12 years old. Having money in her pocket was a must, she said. She was a telemarketer. She worked at the Gap. I just wanted financial freedom, she says. Everyone says that she was dealing with the drug epidemic here in Baltimore in the 1980s. Everybody says drugs were going to touch you, period. You could use them, you could sell them, but there was no being in an environment like that and drugs not touch you. All right. Okay. So Jada the drug dealer is laughable. And this is what I'm saying, Monique. I'm going back to you, Monique. We got to talk about these things because we cannot let her, Jada, continue to spit these lies and having a generation of folks thinking that this foolishness is acceptable. This stuff can't go unchecked. Jada reveals her bouts with suicidal. I mean, come on. It just, you know what I mean? She wants to touch any kind of group. She wants to join it. She wants to join the drug dealer group. She wants to join the alopecia group. She wants to join folks that are suicidal. She wants to join every goddamn group that's out there. Any underserved or damaged a group of individuals, she wants to be in that. I guess you're going to say she was an alcoholic next too. So she says that after her 40th birthday, she was suicidal. I began to think about how to have a fatal accident that wouldn't look intentional for the sake of my kids. You understand what I'm talking about? We have to address her foolishness. Foolishness. So she wants to say this stuff in front of people, and they want to feel sorry for her. And then folks who are really going through this stuff, like there are folks who really have alopecia, and then she channel. I don't know. It's just it's kind of disgusting if you have to go to these depths to sell this book, right? And so she goes on and she's talking about being treated for anxiety and depression and blah, blah, blah. But Worthy is out now. The book is out now. And, she talks about taking a drug and different things, voices, a whole bunch of stuff. So you read the book if you want. But Jada is one of those types of women that I hope that a lot of my brothers out here would avoid. This type of woman. This type of woman is always talking. Now, I don't discount the fact that maybe she did like Tupac, the idea of Tupac, right? And then when she's recalling things, and then you know how I personally think that they got married too quick. She's second guessing things, but it's comfortable for her. So she wanted to try to carve out a niche. So she's constantly trying to throw in Will Smith's face the imagery of Tupac and the thug life and the swag. And Tupac and Will Smith got a different kind of swag. Now, Tupac possibly would have jumped on, smacked around Chris Rock, not during the show. He would have waited and done it later. But Will Smith, he doesn't know that. And so he's thinking that, what would Tupac do? You know, I say, what would Jesus do? What would Tupac do? Oh, Tupac would go up here. And you know what I mean? And Will Smith got it all wrong. He thought that running up there and smacking Chris Rock was going to make Jada want him more. I don't know what it did or how she felt. Or 7 years from now, what these two are going to be doing. Kids are grown. Kids seem like they're messed up, though, but kids are grown, right? And we already talked about her mother and what her history has been. So I'm not even going to dive into the stuff that her mother has been saying. But they want to throw Will under the bus only and back the bus over Will and act like Jada is an angel. There are no angels here, all right? Let Jada tell it. Okay, we know that her mother did drugs, right? Jada sold drugs. Did Jada sell drugs to her mother? I mean, we know what is all this foolishness, right? There are no innocent people here. And their story, due to their own doing, their own actions, is playing out in the public square. So it is free game to talk about. She's selling a book about it. She wants us to talk about it. But I personally think that this type of behavior, the emasculating of your man, should not be happening, should not be applauded. I understand that she has a journey. She's been through a journey. And we can hear about the journey, right? Will Smith is not going to publicly say anything negative about his estranged wife, nor should he. That's fine. But I think she should just tone down what she says publicly about him. Of course, he's cool with it because somebody will say because he cheated, and they both cheated, right? They both cheated. But did we see Will Smith doing interviews with or about the woman he cheated with? What's the woman he cheated with's name? Do we know? And if the woman that he cheated with had been one of his daughter's friends, will we be celebrating that? Nope. Will we be co-signing that? Nope. But so many of you women out there co-signed that debacle with August Alsina. Y'all co-signed it. Like it was Stella Got a Groove Back or something. I don't know. But many of you are going to buy the book, listen to the book, read the book. And that's fine. At the end of the day, that's what folks want. You want gossip, you're getting that. You want fantasy, Tupac proposing to Jada, you're getting that. You want some action or sports, combat, Will Smith smacking up Chris Rock, you're getting that. But her book is all over the place. Her book is all over the place. And I guess that's how folks like their books, right? All over the place. So run down five takeaways from this book. So Jada and Will have been separated since 2016. That was one of the takeaways. Tupac asked Jada to marry him. That was not in the All Eyes on Me movie. Did you notice that? Some kind of a drug that she took helped her get over her suicidal thoughts. Chris Rock asked Jada Pinkett out. And I guess my final takeaway from it is that the Oscar slap made Jada Pinkett decide to reinvest in her relationship with Will. And maybe that's what Will wanted all along. Maybe that's what he wanted. Of course, there was a media frenzy that followed that debacle. And maybe it ends like a movie and they ride off in the sunset. I don't know. Leave me your thoughts in the comment section, of course. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, TikTok, Threads, at the Diamond K Show. Are you going to read this book? I'm very interested to know. Are folks going to read this book? Or are you just partaking in the media circus that Jada has been involved in? The media circus. Oh, it's been a circus. It has been a circus. And I don't think that is over with. I don't think that the circus of the Smiths, I don't think it's ended yet. Of course, On Fire TV is a news website and media company founded by yours truly. What we do is made possible, of course, by your support. And you can continue to do that by getting a membership or joining us. Just visit onfire-tv.com, make a donation, become a member, grab some merch. You can always become a sponsor of the Diamond K Show or any of our On Fire TV programs. Contact me, djdiamondk at gmail.com, djdiamondk at gmail.com. So I'll be back here tomorrow. And if there is more interest in this topic, we can revisit it in the future. But I am hoping that we don't have to talk about Will and Jada anymore anytime soon. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Get ready for a wild night of exclusive entertainment and epic fun. It's the OnlyFans Sippin' Paint. Hot Topic Entertainment presents an experience you won't soon forget. This is not your typical Sippin' Paint. Ladies, unleash your inner artist while sipping on your favorite beverages and party like only HT fans do it. It's the OnlyFans Sippin' Paint. It all goes down Saturday, October the 21st at Pearl's Event Boutique, 11850 Park Waldorf Lane in Waldorf, Maryland. Doors open at 8 p.m. Grab your friends or come solo. Meet new people and have a great time with Hot Topic, Big Deal, DC Crucial, and more. Music by DJ Taz. No painting experience. Don't even worry about it because our sexy models will give you plenty of inspiration. It's the OnlyFans Sippin' Paint. Tickets only $35. 2 glasses of wine included. Cash bar all night long. Don't miss out. Tickets available now on Eventbrite. Click the link below. Visit wangawan.info or call 240-702-4419.